Hello everyone, welcome to my channel guys, and I finally watched Vikrant Rona today in the theaters in 3D, and I watched the Hindi dubbed version. Now the film stars Sudeep in the titular role of Vikrant Rona, and this movie is directed by Anu Bhandari. Now there are a lot of positive things that work in the favor of this film, but there are a couple of things which also pull this movie down. First and the foremost thing is the writing, which pulls this movie down a little bit, and Anu Bhandari himself has written the film along with the direction. Now what I actually mean by that is that the story overall is very good. I really like the concept of this film, but when it comes to writing of the events and how the events connect together, I don't know if it was intentional, but at parts it becomes way too complicated and messy. There are a lot of things which comes into play, and Anu Bhandari is trying to create this complex narrative so that we are confused and in the edge of our seats. Maybe that was the intention and it works for a lot of parts in the movie, but sometimes it's a little bit too overwhelming. The story cannot be fit into a single genre because it has a lot of elements. It has the horror aspect, it has the crime aspect, it has the thriller aspect. It's almost like a folklore or a legend that is playing in front of your eyes. And one of the biggest strengths in the storytelling per se is how seamlessly the movie just shifts from one genre to other. Like there are so many cool moments where I literally got the jump scares, and there are equally cool moments where Kicha Sudeep, he is absolutely bashing all the bad guys and you get that masi masala moment also. Then there is the investigation part which keeps you intrigued and you try to figure out that okay, what is the backstory of this place and why all these events are happening. Then of course you have the emotional angle also with the family bonding and everything. So yes, there is a lot going on in this film, and for the most part I was like, yeah, this is quite interesting, let's see where the movie takes us. But there is also too much information overload, and I feel it might put off some audiences. For me personally, the screenplay was the biggest drawback, and I think it could also be possible because maybe they did not put in that much effort in writing the Hindi dialogues. Maybe the Kannada dialogues are very witty and very well written and it has an impact, but the Hindi dialogues, honestly, if you ask me, were pretty plain. Like even with Sudeep's dialogue, I can see that yes, Vikrant Rona as a character has the swag and he's intimidating, but the dialogues were not as intimidating. I could see that he's a smart cop, and with his expression and body language, I know that he's saying some really cool dialogue, maybe in Kannada, but in Hindi, it was just about okay. Like they were not really whistle-worthy dialogues, to be very honest. Now apart from that, there are many things that are really amazing about this film, starting with the 3D. You have to watch this movie in 3D. You're not going to feel like, oh, you have just wasted your money just, paying extra for that 3D experience. It is genuinely very good. The effects are amazing. I like the world building approach that the director took because it's like a completely different land that you feel that you're a part of. The entire film has this bluish green hue which is so well done. When you watch it, you understand that yes, the representation and the world building is in a sort of fantastical way, but it works. And honestly, a big round of applause for the team who did the 3D work for this movie. Like literally one droplet is just so well defined. Like you're going to have a really good viewing experience, and this movie is really well made in that aspect. With the BGM, I'm sort of in a neutral standpoint. I wouldn't say it completely stood out, but it wasn't bad either. At least the BGM in the parts where Sudeep is fighting the goons and we have those typical slow-mo shots, those are done quite well. And about the songs, now independently, I loved Rajkumari, I loved Rara Rakama. In fact, Rara Rakama is shot so well, but I did not really want them in the film while the story is happening because it was just dragging the script. Like even if the songs were not there, I wouldn't have minded. But yes, independently, those two songs particularly I like. There was one more song I did not like that much. Another huge strength of this film is how the movie has been shot. The cinematography is incredible. Combine that with the 3D effects and it's like a visual treat. Now if I have to talk about the performances, this is out and out Sudeep's film, and honestly he's the only actor in the entire cast whose performance stood out. The other actors, I just could not connect with them emotionally at all. It was only Vikrant Rona's character that I felt something for him. And it is because Sudeep really gave it his all to this performance. He was brilliant. I feel if the other actors had also given a more convincing performance, especially Nirup Bhandari, because he has a very important role in the film and his performance was not very convincing, to be very honest. So yes, if all other performances were a bit more convincing, at least for me, because I honestly couldn't emotionally connect with them, I think I would have enjoyed this movie even more. But it's Sudeep who completely outshines them by a huge margin. He looks the part, he looks convincing, his screen presence is immaculate. So yes, definitely watch this if you are a Sudeep fan and if you really want to see some really good 3D and filmmaking in terms of, you know, visual representation. This is really good. In fact, story wise also, this is a good story. I wouldn't say it's bad. This is a good story and it could have been made even better had the screenplay been good. And I think I'm probably feeling this way because the Hindi dialogues were not that impactful. Maybe it could have been. Had I watched it in Kannada with the subtitles, I don't know how the impact would have been. Once it comes in the OTT, I'd probably do that. I'll give it a rewatch. But do let me know what was your experience after you watched this film, or are you planning to watch it or not? And yes, those were my thoughts. Overall, it was a good experience. I wouldn't say, like, I had quite high expectations, so it did not blow my mind away, but it was good. Like, it was not a bad viewing experience for me. So yes, with that, I will end this video here. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, that's it guys. I'll sign off now and I'll see you soon on my next video. Bye.